I think Tracy was. I'm going to turn it over to you for a few minutes, but we're going to get to know Ken a little bit there here in this podcast, and let you guys learn a little bit more about him. Go ahead, Trace.
All right, thanks, Mike. Yeah, we brought in Ryco Motorsports owner Ken Biron, and Ken, thanks for coming tonight. And what I'd like to do, we've been covering different setup shops, and like Mike has said, but now we're trying to get a little more personal, get your name out there of who's actually the face that runs the place. So that's what we want to do tonight. First off, thanks for coming. We appreciate you being here. And I'd like to just get a little history. How did you get started in sim racing? What attracted you to it? And what got us or you from where you were starting to where you are to be like into your setup shop? What made you want to get into your setup shop? Are you a setup specialist? Do you have guys that work for you? How does all that work? But let's get into you personally first. How did you get started? What was your first wheel? What was your pedals? What was your experiences like?
So my first wheel and pedals in racing was actually a '89 Mustang hatchback four-cylinder car. I come from a fourth generation racing family. I'm originally from Michigan. Now live in the great state of Florida.
But let me
I
hold
grew
you
up.
up there. Now you
Yep,
say
go
you
on.
come from a racing family. What did you guys race? Were you like super late models, or what? Do you dirt, asphalt?
Yeah, so we raced asphalt. Um, my great grandfather, Harry Foote Sr. He was he's a part of the Michigan Motorsports Hall of Fame. He raced way back in the 70s and 80s. So he raced the coupes and the old Fords. And my grandfather, um, he raced late models, super late models, outlaw late models. And then my dad raced street stocks, template late models, sportsmans. And then myself, I started racing in the mini stocks, moved up into the street stocks, and I raced template late models up until the time that we moved here to Florida. When we moved
Now
here
I'm
to
an
Florida,
Ohio
go ahead.
boy. Did you guys get down into Ohio at all?
Oh yeah, my grandfather used to race at Columbus
Okay, yeah, yeah.
all the time, and Toledo.
Oh, I love
So
that
we
place. I
we
was wondering if
raced
you went
quite a
through
bit down
Toledo.
there.
Yeah, Toledo's a great place. Go ahead. Sorry, bud.
No, you're good. So um, we moved to Florida. My dad was diagnosed with cancer. So my parents moved to Florida. When they moved to Florida, I decided that I thought it was probably the best move for me to move with them to be with my dad. When we moved down here, we built a pro truck. We raced all around the state of Florida. And then my dad got really sick, passed away in 2017. And at that point in time, like racing was like something that I wanted nothing to do with, right? Because it's something that him and I've been in the race shop, I've been to the racetrack since I was a week old, and that's what I knew. So I didn't touch racing. I had nothing to do with it. One night I was sitting on the couch and I just said, "Hey, I seen this iRacing. Um, I'm gonna check it out." This was in 2020, so I jumped on or whatever, and I noticed that I had quite a bit of friends that had it. I bought a cheap wheel, literally a Logitech G920, uh, and just jumped on and started racing the short track stuff, the fixed stuff. And then a group of my friends and we all started hanging out and we were racing like the short track stuff, building our own setups. We said, hey, people would always ask us like, hey, can you share your setup? Or somebody would reach out and be like, hey, do you have time to help me with a setup? And after a while, I was like, sure, like I'll help you out. And then people would be like, okay, I'll give you $5 for helping me out, or I'll give you $3 or $4 for helping me out. And I was like, okay, not a problem. And then eventually we all were just talking and we were like, well, we could just start up a shop and sell the setups that we're building since people are wanting them anyways. And that's kind of like how the shop started.
Excellent, excellent. How did you get the name Ryco? What's Ryco Motorsports? Is there something there that we need to know about?
Yeah, so I have two children that are younger, and I have my oldest daughter. But my two youngest children that are heavily involved in racing themselves, they're 3 and 2, and they absolutely love it. My son is 2 years old. He sat and watched the entire Coda race today at 2. So Riley and Cole are my two youngest kids' names. So Ryco is where that came
Excellent.
from.
Oh,
Excellent.
that's
I was
cool.
wondering, yeah, I was wondering how we got to that. Now, let me ask you this. You said you got into the setup. So when people ask you, and I get this asked all the time, how much from the real world actually applies, or have you found that applies into iRacing? Or is there any similarities? Because that's a big question we get constantly.
Honestly, I think it depends on the car. Um, there's some cars that you can utilize some of the real life knowledge, and then there's other cars where it's honestly not even close to realistic. And some of the things that you would do. The one thing that I will attribute and I will say is that a lot of times that the adjustments that you make, such as track bar, shock spring, thing like that, like those are pretty relative to the same adjustments that you would make in real life, right? But sometimes the bases that you wind up starting with are substantially different than what you would do with in real life.
Right. And that's consistent in what we've found too. So with Ryco, now being a company, how many people do you have that are doing setups? Are you doing all the grunt work yourself? Do you have a bunch of guys or a couple guys that solely build for you, or maybe build in certain like B open or C open, be specialists, chassis specialists? How does Ryco work? How do you have it structured so you're able to put out the content every single week for these people?
Yeah. So we originally, like I said, we originally just started as a short track team. And we were just doing modified stuff, right? And we got pretty good at it. And we were like, okay, let's dabble into things. So I made some different friends, racing against different people, brought some people in, and we built a really successful short track team, and we were pretty happy with it. And there was 3 of us at the time. Um, and so we are like, well, let's try something different. And I made some friends on the dirt side of the service, and reached out to them, got them interested. Um, and then we had a great opportunity with our eNASCAR team that we have now to bring them in. So right now, on the our team is basically broken up into 3 groups, soon to be 5. But right now we're broken up into 3 groups. So our short track team, we have 3 builders that handle the short track cars. So the super lates, I build myself. The tour modifieds, the SK modifieds, and the late model stocks. My good friend Jay Jensen builds those, and Travis Rogers builds the legend cars. And then on the dirt side, we have 3 builders as well. Um, Zach McSwain, he builds the pro lates, the super lates, and the big block modifieds. He also builds the umps for league races. Obviously, the umps went to a fixed series, so we don't have to build those on a weekly basis. Tyler Strawlow, he builds dirt midgets, and then Braden Shute builds the 410s and 360s. So we have 3 there. And then our eNASCAR team, we have 2 primary like builders that build the official stuff at the start of the week. So Brad Wright builds the A car and the NIS. Obviously, they're relatively the same. And then Brandon Hawk, he builds the B and the C. But then we have Joey Brown that does our Road to Pro program for our customers. And then we also have Brody Kostecki, Australian supercar driver Brody Kostecki is a part of our build team as well. So we have about 10 or 11 builders on, usually 5 to 6 hours a night, 6 to 7 nights a week.
Now,
So
Yeah,
it's
I hear
hey,
you there.
now Ken, you better give our boy Cody a shout out. Cody Trilindy's watching. He's put up a few messages in chat to it, so or chat to us. So yeah, we got to give Cody a shout out.
yeah, Cody's one of our drivers. Um
He
we
beats
have a
me on the track.
pretty
He beats me on the track an awful lot.
yeah we have a pretty decent fleet of guys that race for us. I know a lot of people see our logos on the cars and like, oh, the Ryco guys or the Ryco guys. And we have our core is pretty small. A lot of our customers run our logos, but Cody is our B Open driver. He races the B Open. He's actually leading the B Open points. Um, we have James Houghton. He's from Canada. He races the A car for us, back-to-back A Open champion to be exact. Um,
Wow.
Barrett Bonner races for us. He's out of Canada. He races a lot of the C Open stuff for us. Um, then we have Daniel Nanny from Michigan. He's newer to the team. He was on our team before, but he's come back. Uh, Ex-Coke Series driver Brian Schoenberg is also a part of our team. Dan Roper, Jay Jensen, Justin Collison. We also have the whole Zach McSwain racing team as a part of our operation. So we have quite a large group of folks. I would probably say in total, under the Ryco like direct banner, up to about 30 people overall between drivers and builders that will test and give feedback and everything along those lines.
Yeah, you've got you're pretty stacked. You got some talented folks there, that's for sure. Yeah, that's some stacked guys there. And when I hear esports, that's a serious group right there. Now, who's your esports driver? I'm just curious because that's where my background came from. Corey Vincent with Overclock Motorsports, but that's been some time ago.
Oh, eNASCAR. So for Coke Series, Ryan Luza races. We build for Ryan Luza.
Okay.
In the Coke Series, and we also build for Derek Bordeaux.
Okay.
So those are our two drivers that we build for in eNASCAR Coca-Cola Racing Series.
Excellent. So now, do you have any development drivers coming up through the ranks, through like C Open and Road to Pro? Who do you got that's budding there?
Yeah. So the guys that I just listed are our main guys that we work with that race for us. We have a program that we started this year for Road to Pro specifically. For folks to join our team for Road to Pro. We have 4 guys right now inside of the top 70 after we're a few races in. So we're pretty excited about that. We had some mishaps at Atlanta, but we were tied for the lead with Daniel Roper going into Atlanta. So we have a pretty good team where our goal is to get some guys through to the Contender Series. And then obviously work the guys internally through to Coke.
Nice. Very good. Very good. I'm glad to see we at least still have a good feeder system going, keep this thing up and going. I like like I said, the program and where it was when I was involved versus the TV exposure. And actually, what they're being paid now is really good. And they put on a great show. And I'm glad to see that's going. Mike, that's all I pretty much have for Ken right now. But I wanted to find out about you and let our viewers find out, what Ryco's about. And like I said, you're the face behind the place. So while we've got you, let's use you for that anyways.
Hey guys, this is Mike Howerton here at Area 51, and what you just saw was a clip from our latest podcast. We call it the Alien Factory Podcast. It's going to be every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Make sure you tune in this coming Sunday night at 10 p.m. You don't want to miss 1 second of the Area 51 Alien Factory Podcast. We're going to have great guests on every single week. Coming up, we got Mike Olette is our guest. He's from Major's Garage, and we're going to have a great time with him. So we will see you guys this coming Sunday at 10 p.m. Also, do not forget to check out all of our great content here at Area 51 Alien Factory. We have live streams of races. We also have great on-demand content playlists. One of the ones that's really taken off, that's gotten tons of views and tons of support from you guys, is our intro to setup building playlist. And I also have a setup shop review series out there as well. So check that out. Great on-demand content out. And if you have not done so yet, go down below the video, hit that subscribe button. It's greatly appreciated. And if you really want to help the channel out, the best thing you can do is to share these videos and share our content anywhere you can. Share them on Facebook or Discord, Twitter, anywhere you can share the content. That is what really helps us to help get our content out in front of guys who are trying to learn guys and gals who are learning how to do iRacing, learning how to build setups, learning how to drive. We do all kind of great content for people who are starting out and trying to build up their iRacing career. So We are glad you're here for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed this clip from our podcast. And we will see you this coming Sunday night at 10 p.m. As always, this is Mike Howerton here at Area 51. And for the whole crew here, so glad you turned into view, and we will see you in the next one.